Cheers, and enjoy this. Yes, good evening and welcome back to the channel with me, Disco, once again coming at you live in front of the cans and bottles here on the bar at what I'm still inescapably calling the Disco Arms. Big show on tonight, 3 not necessarily big beers, but possibly over-engineered and over-complicated show. So let's crack straight in. If you've all seen the thumbnail, I've got 2 little beers and a big bottle of beer, and as always there's a reason for doing these things over and above these things amuse me. And of course, welcome to everybody in the chat. Top of the shop, of course, Mr. Wilson, thanks for popping in. Hope you've got a beer on as well for this a Tuesday tipple. As always, let me know what you've got in the glass, and if you're watching after the event, same thing, let me know in the comments below, because the algorithm loves it. It makes me look popular, and it's free at the point of dispense, as is clicking like and subscribe. The buttons are down there just for that sort of thing. Down there somewhere. If I get it right. I know how it works. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, I'm Disco, and we've got 3 beers to crack on. So the first one, I am going to get into the glass straight away, because I've got to remember all the things I was going to talk about. As you can see, it is a big 500ml bottle, and it does say on there Hairy Bikers, which obviously popular entertainment types, or formerly popular entertainment types, off of the TV, a TV which I don't actually own because I don't have a TV license. Therefore I don't have a TV. I just don't watch TV. Well, not here anyway. I do a little bit around the corner, I suppose. I'll be honest, never really watched the Hairy Bikers. Occasional clips, but this is a beer that came out with their name on it, and it is a best bitter. And funny enough, I don't know why, because it's listed there as a triple hop best bitter. I was kind of expecting it to be lighter than that, but it is very much kind of dark amber, kind of tawny brown best bitter, as you might expect. I've got a bit of a wobbly table. Where's my things gone? Hold on, I don't want this falling over the gaff. There's enough things that can go wrong on the show today. Why is that not level and balanced? Oh, what's going on here? Oh, that's better. Wobbly with a bit of wood, and it seems to go better that way. Anyway, yeah, there we go. I think I need to do Robin Slurpy Dave's little mechanical toothbrush trick, except for the fact I don't own a mechanical toothbrush. This is not going to work. How's that going to happen? Got a small problem. I just thought saying about taking a photo, but my phone is otherwise engaged tonight for reasons I shall show in a moment. See, it's the first thing that's gone wrong already. Drinking a Siren 100,000, a California Pale Ale, solid, no doubt, from Siren. That's all right. I think I can do it. Just going to have to rejig it in a bit. Never mind. Let's do the taster first, and I'll try and reinvigorate that head, because it's kind of died fairly well. Good aroma on the nose, solid kind of maltiness on the base. Got that kind of malty breadiness of a best bitter. I always worry when I see something that says hop in the title, and that one says triple hop best bitter, but we'll come on to that in a minute. I always worry it's going to be a little too hoppy for my liking, you know, grapefruity and stuff like that. If you've got 3 times the hops in it, doesn't necessarily need to be the case. I know you can just have it nice and balanced depending when you put the hop additions, but it's quite, there's a touch of haze on it, but it's medium clear really. You can see kind of right through it with a little bit of a glaze. This beer We'll find out in a minute. It's probably a little bit old, so it's not looking great. But cheers and enjoy the beers. Oh, there it is. Mr. B, you've no doubt seen the best bitter quotient of this beer. I didn't see too many other people review this beer. I saw the one or two. I'm going to do the photograph there now. I need to charge the phone, which is not good. If I do it from a lower angle, I might not notice the lack of head on it. As always, my terrible lighting. It's not good for brown beers. But yeah, as the best bitter goes, I would think the word best bitter is often anathema. Doesn't actually mean that it's best. Best bitters for me are often anything but we persevere anyway. Hey Shark, welcome along to the Disco Arms once again. I got this beer. I think if not the day after, then possibly the week after the passing of one of the hairy bikers, Dave Myers. The other one is Cy King. So I don't know if you guys have watched the hairy bikers or looked at any of their recipes. As much as I love a little bit of cooking, I do my own kind of recipes rather than watching cooking shows on TV. Like I say, mostly due to not owning a TV. It's a marketing tool, the triple hop wording. Yeah, I'd see what you mean. It sort of suggests quite a hoppy beer, but it just means that there's 3 different hops in it. Now, to be fair, they don't really claim anything else, because it does say on here, just above the 4.2% ABV, that this is a perfect combination of Challenger, Admiral, and Pilgrim hops. Complements a mash of pale and crystal malt. 100% British. Yeah, I've said before, in terms of going towards real ale, which is what this is. It's brewed at Theakstons or in collaboration with Theakstons, a fairly well-established traditional brewer. So it's hitting that market, isn't it? So I shouldn't probably expect it to be overly hoppy, because it doesn't really sit with, I guess, what Theakstons do. I thought it was going a little bit copper penny there for a second. There's a bit more toffee on it now. It is a little flat and lifeless, that head development. That might be my fault, because, as I say, Dave Myers, I found out this afternoon when I was looking around for this shoe, he passed away in February of last year, so I probably picked this beer up a year ago. Pregnancy warning: alcohol can cause lifelong harm to your baby. Fair enough, thanks for the warning. Yeah, it says in collaboration with Theakstons. Can't see the date. I think my magnifying glass needs a clean. Best before C neck. Oh, April 25. So, somewhat unexpectedly, we're in date. Yay! Continuing the trend from yesterday's show. Thanks to everybody who watched yesterday's show, by the way. All the beers were just about in date. So yeah, it's a little flat and lifeless. I suppose sometimes best bitters are, but you kind of want it to be at least a sort of, there was a slight bubbly head on the pour, and it's kind of dissipated. You can't really see it in the glass there with the camera angle, but it looks, you can see the thin edge, and then there's nothing behind it. Put it in the Ealing Beer Festival glass. to go with the Eden Beer Festival t-shirt for reasons that will become clear later, because these things amuse me, as I keep saying. It's not a bad beer, but even for 4.2%, it feels a bit thin and watery, but it's got some good flavour, like good kind of maltiness. There's a little bit of nearly burnt toast on it. There's a little bit of toffee, just a hint, just a tinge at the back end of copper penny, but it pulls away with the toffee notes. Yeah, so I was going to do a video for this. This is what all of today's beers are. They're videos that beers that have sat in my stash for all of last year. And if you look on a grid on YouTube, you'll notice that I haven't really got around to doing a beer video. Well, one in 6 months, I think. Last summer was the last one I actually got out, and then there was the Lager Logs unboxing, which was only a short video. Just running out of time and talent between working at the brewery and like producing these live streams. It doesn't take a lot, but it does take up a certain amount of time on a Monday and Tuesday where I could be doing video editing. In fact, as I've always said, I've got 5 fucking videos still to edit. You'll see our Nevada system up and running this weekend to brew a pale ale. Fair play. For a good brewing weekend. So yeah, I don't dislike this. It's just a little bit uninspiring, really. I thought it'd be all right for just a quick video where I could, note the passing of the man, who is kind of fairly iconic British kind of institution on the TV, but it never really happened. Here's a question for you, though. I was wandering around the internet earlier, looking at what I was going to be talking about in relation to this beer. Of course, I ended up on Hairy Biker's website, and this recipe intrigued me somewhat. Has anybody ever done this? Beer can chicken. I imagine you can't do it in the bottle, but it's like, as far as I can tell, you bung a whole chicken on top of a beer can with a bit of beer inside it, and as it all heats up and steams the inside of the chicken with whatever tasty beverage you've put in the can. As it says here, season the inside of the chicken with salt mixed together with whatever you want to put in it to be ready. You don't have to follow this recipe. They say paprika, mustard powder, cayenne, garlic powder, oregano, sugar or honey, and lemon zest with lots of black pepper. Then it says pour out half the beer from the can. Up to you what you do with it. I think we know we're going to be drinking it. Sit the chicken over the can and place it on a roasting tin. Anybody ever given that a go? Or is that the basis of a video I'll never get round to doing? I think you did. Yeah, I've seen it with Coke as well. You pour a bit of beer out and put whatever spices you want to season the chicken with. I've seen some videos of it and stuff like that. Shark, you've done it. I can understand the premise of it. I think I'd rather just cook the chicken and put the sauce over it. It's just easier. I mean, I'm guessing you have to pick the right can as well. I'm guessing you have to peel the label off the can because you don't want that in the chicken and wipe off any gluey residue. And also probably don't use the, what's his name, like the ready printed cans. You want to take the label off, right? The only one I've got over there, the printed can, because I'd tidy up his dragon soup. But you get the general idea. It's just a different way to roast the bird. Yeah. Chicken is very tender and falls apart easily. Use a 350ml can. Yeah, the one in the picture there. Well, you can't tell actually, really. Yeah, it doesn't say what beer to use or what size can to use. To be fair, it just says pick a beer. Yeah, so here's a question for you. What beer would you use? Is that a good use for Sierra Nevada so I don't have to drink it and finding another way of drinking it? Do you want something a bit, would a lager work? Something maybe a little bit like, a Pilsner that's got maybe a little savoury kind of note on the edge? Would you ever count a best bitter? What do we reckon? I should start a poll or something, but I can never remember how to do them. But yeah, so beer can chicken. I've been aware of it. I've heard it. It's not like I'm suddenly discovering it for the first time, but sounds like something I could do. I don't think it would fit in my oven, to be honest. Um, yeah, it's all right. This beer, it's okay, perfectly drinkable. As best bitters go, it's a little thin, not watery, just thin on the mouthfeel. And I say all those kind of slightly toffee notes, caramel, kind of carry it through from the crystal malt. It's not a bad little bit of sweetness, touch of brown sugar there, maybe, touch of rye bread, perhaps. But it's not the most inspiring beer, which is a shame because obviously the Hairy Bikers are fairly well thought of, iconic kind of TV personalities, or they was until one passed away. And we say rest in peace, Dave Myers, of course. Obviously, this was brewed, I guess, before the man's passing, but you would think even to some living legends, you'd want a slightly better beer. It's brewed to a price point, and it's gone into supermarkets. I picked this one up at Waitrose. Last year, I don't know how much it was, but I happened to be in Waitrose this afternoon, and it's still in there, $2.25 a bottle. So just for the purposes of checking the dates, I thought I'd pick one up. So I'm guessing this is a later dated bottle, if I can see it. Yeah, so it's obviously pretty popular because that's October 25. So this is a later batch. I've kind of just got it there to drink. I'll probably drink it tomorrow over darts without having to worry about it. A little bit of lemonade would spritz it up a little bit, make it a bit more embodied. Rumour has it you have to do the can dance one. With or without the big bushy skirt. Cheap beer. Do you not get cheap chicken? Fair enough. I'll tell you what, this would probably be all right because it's got those kind of it's got those kind of sort of roasty toffee notes, like as if you was doing it with a Coke can. I suppose it's got a caramelization, the sugars in it still from the malts and such. So yeah, it's not a terrible beer. It's a nice colour, that kind of sort of Albany ambery brown. But yeah, it hasn't got any livelier, even with a little bit of invigoration. The head does reform, and then pretty much goes straight away again. So not that much on a carbonation, and just sort of nothing to keep it kind of enlivened, really. But perfectly reasonable taste. It's all right. It's quite cold because it's been in the cold store in the stash. But there you go. Yeah, as a tribute to the Hairy Bikers, I think it misses the mark a little bit, but it's perfectly reasonable and drinkable. One I could sort of knock back and get out of the bay and get onto something else. And once again today I did change this actually, because I normally do it on the order of the thumbnail from left to right, but I put the bottle in the middle of this one because I can't remember why. But yeah, I thought I'd change it because it goes up the ABV. This is 4.2, and then we go up the ABV for the next couple. Yeah, anyway, cheers, Dave Myers and the Hairy Bikers. From one hairy beerer to a hairy biker. And as you can see on the thing that I never changed, like an idiot. I forgot the banners. There we go. That was going to be the title of the video. Hairy Bearer meets Hairy Biker. Probably would have been this hairy this time last year as well. So one for Bramwell does get Mrs. B to film the dance. Yeah, Bramwell does the can. I like that video title more than mine. Can you do it with a bottle as well, or does that just break the bottle in the oven? How much heat can a bottle withstand before it melts? You think a can would be less? As bottles are kind of glass fired, aren't they? Anyway, I don't know, these things I am musing on for no apparent reason. Let's get this away and get onto something probably more interesting, I think. Cheers, anyway. So that banner won't be on there for long, but that was beer number one. Hairy Bikers collaboration with Theakstons Brewery. Triple hop, 4.2% best bitter. Let us then move on to beer number two, please. And beer number two is one I know David Wilson is aware of, being a little 330 can from Camden in North London. It is Werewolf beer, Cascadian dark ale called Yerkes. Some might call it Yerkes, but I happen to know it's called Yerkes. I'll tell you for why I know in a minute. Let me just refresh that palate. Oh no, I thought you did. I thought you did get this one. I know you. We were talking about it, therefore I thought you did get it. Never mind. Okay, well, this one has been sitting in the stash again since last year. I wanted to do this video mainly because I do have some interests outside of beer, as I'm sure the rest of us do, and I do take part in other spheres on YouTube, one of which, and it kind of ties in with beer because I used to travel about the country quite a lot. I do love a bit of geography. Let me get this in a glass and I'll explain. So I'm expecting something nice and deep and dark. It's going into a glass. It's going into a Mad Yank glass. Anybody remember them? We used to bang them about them quite a lot. Fellow Americans out in northwest London, I know they've collabed. They did collab with Werewolf, who are also American brewer. In fact, that's kind of their tagline for Werewolf, the film. American Brewery in London, like American Werewolf in London, the film. One of the few films I have actually seen. Mostly because I was made to. I didn't really want to, but it was kind of funny. And I did like Rick Mail and Brian Glover's bit in it. If nothing else, storyline didn't really do it for me, to be honest. Hopefully, the beer will, because a bit of a convoluted story, really. Can I get there? No, it's too dark to be seeing that. It has got the London Underground rounder on the can with Camden Town denoting where they brew the beer, where the brewery is underneath a railway arch in Camden, where they've got a tap room. Dave, I believe you've been to. You've been to the tap room, I believe. I've never quite got round to it. I do need to get on my bike and cycle down the canal. Now, yeah, it does. It looks pretty solid. Like I say, talking about the last one, very little head development. Its head has developed nicely into a slightly kind of tan coloured off-white head, and it's sticking around, which is good. Nice and dark, a little bit of roastiness on the aroma. Some kind of dark sugar notes going on there anyway. Nose is getting a little blocked again. Yeah, some nice dark roastiness going on there. Some kind of brown sugary kind of notes. Let's dive in and see what we get. Cheers. Oh. Ooh. Again, a little thin on the body, and that head is immediately kind of dissipated. Again, you can't see it from that angle, but some nice, definitely some nice roasty notes on there. A little bit of kind of, yeah, a little bit of kind of fruitiness, like that kind of keep talking about that coffee bean, that red coffee bean kind of apparent note, but there's no actual coffee in it at all. Not too much about it, but fairly solid. Dark ale, almost just it kind of tries to step over the line, but just pulls back from like going into kind of porter territory. But there's a little bit of kind of dark roastiness, touch of kind of sort of coffee-ish background. Not really any chocolate or nothing like that. No real bitterness or anything like that. I mean, as you know, I kind of prefer me darker ales. I want to have a little bit more flavour than that, but it's perfectly decent and drinkable. Oh, sorry, Taylor, I just flucked that one off. Yeah, been to Werewolf down the railway arches in Camden. Anyway, yeah, so this beer is one that probably there's no secret that it's a 330 can, so it's one that I accidentally found or accidentally had in a Beer 52 box, a London box, and I think I've talked about that box before with a couple of others. I don't massively do Beer 52. In fact, I've done a whole video on it, which I'll put up there as to how I got mugged into doing Beer 52 again. But they are kind of useful. Every now and again, you get an interesting beer, of which this is one, and I saw it in the box, so I think this is one that I kind of accidentally forgot to cancel, being I wanted to try this. I think at that point I'd already spoken to Werewolf. We was on a stand next to them. Again, David, Liam, as I said before, attended at Fuller's, so I like the brewery, and I'm always wanted to get up there, so I want to try more of their beers. So I let the Beer 52 order go through. I won't go into, well, no, I won't, because I'll put up there a video entitled "Why I Still Beer 52 Occasionally." It's all these things I keep thinking about, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, Beer 52, it's all right for what it is. I don't get mugged into it every month, and I keep remember as long as I remember, and I did this month, to suspend it for a month, and then I have to remember at the end of the month to start it again and then cancel it again, probably. I think there's a London box next time, though. No, Beer Cities, it said. Hopper, my good man, thanks for popping in, sir. You were actually on the list for you was actually on the list for a shout out today. Hopper Reviews, a new beer reviewer that's kind of taken the beer YouTube space by storm with some very interesting videos and a very interesting angle on it, managing to completely do beer reviews without showing his face, well, kind of, and a very humorous outlook on certain beers. I say thanks very much for popping in, Hopper. Cheers. I'll link to that up there as well at some point, one of them. Talking of people who don't show their faces on YouTube, which is kind of why I'm talking about this beer as well. As I say, I have a few other interests like travel, geography and stuff like that. Shark took geography in college. I wanted to learn how to get lost. I'm sure people have been telling you how to get lost ever since, Shark. I had to find out how not to get lost, but I enjoyed the Werewolf beers that Dave's. Oh, okay, yeah. I again, not quite got an order out of them and stuff like that. Hopper in. Yeah, so I look around other stuff. I do like a little bit of travel, a little bit of kind of architecture and things that are just kind of interesting. I've noted that before on a couple of videos I did when I was doing videos like the year before, I was trying to do something with GeoGuessr, the geography-based online game. In fact, I tried to do a video about that yesterday, but I did one, Yieldy Pubs of GeoGuessr, where you look at all the pubs with Yieldy in the name on a particular game. On that, it's a geography, online-based geography game, and you have to try and pinpoint where the pubs are on Google Maps. It gets randomly dropped. Based off of a YouTuber called GeoWizard, who does that kind of geography and kind of escapades across the country, where he does things like straight line missions and getting across the country like for a tenner and stuff like that, which is something that interests me as well, as I keep getting out and about a bit more. I want to do something like that rather than just sort of sitting in front of the camera and reviewing a beer. No, I've no problem with that. Everybody else has got it sewn up and does it better than me. That's the only thing. So I want to, like with these lives, I want to introduce something a bit more interesting. Anyway, one of the people who I kind of want to not emulate, but at least look into is a guy. And if you like transport, and if you like specifically the London Underground, of which, being I'm a Londoner, I've grown up on the London Underground. I know it reasonably inside out, although not so much in the last 5 years. But you might be aware of a YouTuber called Jago Hazard. It's a fantastic name, not his real name probably, who has a channel with, if I remember rightly, over 300,000 followers. So he must be doing something right. But also, as I was talking about, manages not to show his face on any videos. Well, apart from that small cameo in Jay Foreman's video. Jay Foreman, another eminent transport and geography YouTuber. But yeah, this is Jago Hazard's channel. 237,000 subs, so he must be doing something right. Obviously, I don't know, London Underground is fairly popular kind of subject. He does lots of really good kind of documentary style stuff, usually just using B-roll and commenting over the top. He has particular interest of kind of South London. He does stray into the trains as well and stuff like that. But the reason I'm highlighting him actually is if you look on people's, and you can do this on ours, but on anybody's video, if you go to the video screen there, don't know if many people have noticed, but the tabs underneath, you can actually sort people's videos by the latest ones in date order, but also the popular ones, the ones that got the most views. And some videos he's doing rather well. Videos about buildings, 1.4 and 1.7 million. So he's getting more views on the trains. And then on the trains, 500,000 there, or 400,000. But more importantly for Mr. Jago Hazard is this tag. And that's why I wanted to do this on a video, so I could skim around this. It's harder to do it on live, but here we go. Mr. Jago Hazard, eminent transport guru, YouTuber, actually started out as a beer reviewer. Who knew? I mean, obviously, this was 5 years ago, and I think I saw this just at around about the time of lockdown in March 2020. I think this is just before. It says 5 years here. Little bit perturbed that his first useful beer review was Doom Bar, which is not useful for anything other than, I don't know, would you use that for cooking? Would you use a can of Doom Bar up your chicken in one of their recipes like we saw before? I'm not sure I'd bother, to be honest. I think I'd leave it in the shop. Mind you, Jago Hazard also reviews many of my absolutely least favourite beers. Proper job, I can't stand there on the third one. Newcastle Brown Ale I used to love, but not so much these days. Shipyard, it's not too bad. As you can see, he also has an interest in transport and very quickly went on to modelling, which, apart from that first one, which is a 5-year thing, seems to have got more popular, and eventually worked out that transport was much more popular than beer. Probably more people are interested in it. Fair enough. And so slowly but surely transferred into trains. Oh, look, recognise that glass.
Word up. Today's beer is Spitfire, which is an amber ale produced by Shepherd Neame, all of which you can see on the label there. So telling you all that was just a colossal waste of time, really.
Snap.
Anyway, this is a fairly popular ale. It was first brewed in 1990 to commemorate the Battle of Britain. And it's like, that's a bit bloody slow, lads. Come on. The Battle of Britain was in like 1940 or something. Like, you know, sort your lives out, guys. Come on. Anyway. I actually did try this. There's a pub I rather like in Teddington which serves this. So I did try it a couple of times, and I remember I rather liked it. But see, what put me off was one time I went in there and the guy before me at the bar asked for a pint, except he called it a pint of spit, and it was like, what? I mean, it's obvious what he meant, but it's like that's just really gross. And after that, I was all like, oh well, no, I can't drink a pint of spit. I'll just that'll be gross. So I ordered something completely different, and everyone was like, oh hey, weren't you drinking Spitfire? And I was all like, oh yeah, no, I decided that I wanted something different. And they were like, but you don't like whatever it was I was drinking. And I was all like, no, I do. I do. And then I had to drink that the rest of the night. And like, you know, when you sort of get caught in a lie and everyone was all like, oh, hey, that's what you like. And so like I just wind up drinking stuff I didn't like. And, you know, I developed this weird complex about it. Like there was a point where it looked like I was going to have to like stop going out or switch to Alco Pops or something equally awful. You know, I had counseling for it. You know, I took the necessary steps. Yeah, I took responsibility for my problem. And here I am with a YouTube channel making bad reviews of beer. So
bad, it's good.
Let's See, I'm really committed. I'm pouring out the whole bottle, so I've got to drink that, you know. Like if I don't like it, or if I develop that complex again, if I sort of get that PTSD, then I've still got to drink all that. I mean, this could kill me if it's bad. I mean, if it's good, it won't kill me because Shepherd Neame do not produce poisonous beer. I want to make that very clear.
Now, by the way, Spitfire is in the top 5 of my least favourite beers. But I do appreciate the kind of slightly dry, sardonic wit that Mr. Jago Hazard comes out with. And he does this in his underground videos as well, often completely slating the government. Similar in a way to the sort of fun stuff, I guess, in a completely different context and trajectory that Hopper does in his review. So fair play. Do love a bit of humour, as you can tell, because I totally agree with that about Proper Job. And I do genuinely believe that Fuller's, or I did go around saying that Fuller's just dipped the keg or the cask in the Thames next door to the brewery, because they do brew right on the Thames at Chiswick, and just bung it out because nobody would know. Do you know what I mean? That's my genuine belief. I say the same about Spitfire, by the way, that Shepherd and Neame just dipped the cask in the Medway. I don't know the river in Cornwall that Sharps is next to, so I can't say the same about Dunbar. I don't think it's the Tamar. I don't know North Cornwall geography well enough, but yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, that was Jago Hazard. Obviously, he's developed his style over the years and does much more interesting train videos now. At some point, I wanted to emulate that and do that kind of video, mostly because it saves me having my face on the camera. I don't like listening to my own voice or looking at myself, to be fair. It makes editing really difficult. But every time I watch people like hop up, like Jago, it makes me think, well, I'll keep going because I've got to get better, and them doing it much better than me. And yeah, so this I was going to do that with a video and introduce everybody to Jago Hazard, and then speak like I'd want to meet Jago Hazard and go for a beer with him and do a little video in that style, which is why I was going to call the video for this one "The Hazards of the Jago." I did also buy a bottle of that banana bread beer because he did a review of that. To be fair, yeah. Werewolf Yerkes remind me of looking at a porter that tastes like a standard IPA. How are you finding it? Yeah, I think it's not as probably because again it's sat in my stash too long. It's I think still in date though. Let's have a look, see if we can see it. Here we go, quickly. Oh no, we're okay. Excuse me, sorry, sniffles. 15th of the September 2025. So we're all good. Brewed and canned for Werewolf beer at the EU, imported to the UK by Beer 52. So brewed and canned for. So it wasn't brewed at Werewolf. Well, I'm not surprised because they've only got really fairly small premises, haven't they, in Camden? So brewing the hundreds of cans they must have needed for Beer 52. Do bear with me a second. Yeah, so brewed somewhere else and imported. It does say though here we make classic US craft styles that are balanced, bitter, and clean, straight from Camden Town. Although not with this one. Through the twisted lens of authentic American rock, horror, drive-ins, country, cars, and grub. We were born in the USA, but flavour, incorrectly spelt without the U, but let's not argue with that one. A shock, you know what I'm saying? Quality and fun are for everyone to enjoy. A wild American helped establish Camden Town Station, Mr. Yerkes, and the underground we all know today. In honour of Charles Tyson Yerkes, Tubes, do you reckon that was his nickname? We bring you a black IPA from the US. Now, it's listed as a Cascadian dark ale, and black IPAs are not really my thing. The only black IPA I actually drink is the one at work at Perivale because it's a much more maltier cross between a New England Pale Ale and our Stout. So it kind of balances out a little bit more. I find a lot of black IPAs far too hoppy for my liking. But I'm finding this okay. It's got, like I say, a little bit sort of thin, but it's got that kind of black malt kind of maltiness, that kind of slightly almost burnt toast. More so than the Theakstons. A little bit of fruitiness on it. Right. I was going to look that up, but that saves me the bother. Cascadian Dark Ale. I always thought it was Cascadian Dark Ale because I forgot to look because it was brewed with Cascade hops, but I'm guessing it doesn't have to be. But Cascadian Dark Ale was original name for black IPA in the US. See, this is what I always say. I said this yesterday about learning through beer. Who says beer isn't educational? Because I know very little and I keep forgetting stuff. So yeah, cheers for that, Rob. So yeah, for me, this isn't an overly hoppy black IPA, which normally I find I don't like that balance, that imbalance between grapefruit that I get of most IPAs and the kind of dark roasty malts that I like off of a dark ale. So this one is probably a little bit of hop fade at this time because, you know, it was probably brewed about this time last year, sat in a warehouse in Edinburgh for a couple of months and then sent out. Here's a good one. Cascadian ales come from the name of the mountain range in Washington. Fair play. Good stuff. Cheers, man. Good bit of info. It's top stuff. I genuinely didn't know that. I've heard the term Cascadian ales floated about, but you just don't see them about that much. But if they're now called black IPAs, I mean, there's a bit of carbonation. Invigorates fairly well. You get a little bit of head back on there. It is like a nice dark, really black kind of ale. I don't dislike it. I wouldn't necessarily rush out. I'm glad I tried it. I'm sad I didn't get the video out this time last year I think it was about April last year. So, but yeah, not too bad. It's one I could knock back. I will go back at some point to Werewolf. We'll get over to Camden at some point, hopefully this year in the summer, maybe. All other things being equal. But yeah, an interesting one. Like I say, there's a bit more kind of burnt raisin toast going on. Little kind of raisiny notes. Not too hoppy. Does it say the hops? But it doesn't. No, it doesn't. But yeah, it came out of a TFL collab with Beer 52, so there was all kind of train underground themed, hence the Jaeger Hazard thing that I'm talking about. I'm surprised I didn't see anything. Like, if you was going to do marketing, you want to get some transport YouTubers to promote your Beer 52 box. And I know some people have a Beer 52 do kind of promotions, and I would have thought they would have got Jaeger Hazard and maybe Jeff Marshall, although he's not that bothered about beer. That's another transport YouTuber I want to find out about at some point. But yeah, it's all right. I love the name. I love the story. Obviously, in Jaeger Hazard's videos, because he's talking about the tube a lot, almost every video relates to Charles Tyson Yerkes, who was American kind of entrepreneur, had a little bit of bad luck over in America, and was headhunted by one of the fledgling underground companies to come out and kind of sort out the underground lines in London, because they were all kind of individual companies. So he came over slightly dodgily, possibly acquired a bunch of money to acquire the main tube lines and kind of conglomerated them together around about early 1900s, which is why we get the London Underground now, because he brought them all together. And then eventually in 1933, all the underground lines came together in under one umbrella of London Underground. Was it Underground Electric Railways of London, which eventually became London Transport and simply the Tube. Yeah, more education for you. But yeah, cheers. Not too bad. Not too bad. Very drinkable. Say some good flavors and good notes. Again, nothing amazing. Is it a good tribute to the American? Yeah, kind of. It's all right. Right, let me knock this back and we'll move on to something a bit more ambitious and probably, I don't know, let's see how it goes. Another video I never got around to. Anyway, cheers. Yeah, there we go. Beer number 2. Werewolf beer in Camden in London, an American brewer based in London, and a beer called Yerkes, 5.4% Cascadian, a dark ale. Let us move then swiftly on to the third and final. Beer number 3, please. And beer number 3 is, probably won't be surprised to see, haven't seen the thumbnail, another 330 can. Again, out of an old Beer 52 box that I've had sitting around. I think all the others are out. This one, I think this was like Kent or Southeast box sometime mid last year that I've had sitting around because I mean to do this video as well. Let me get it out into the glass and see what it is. It is Gadds Brewery down in Ramsgate, otherwise known as the Ramsgate Brewery. It is called Black Pearl, popular name I should imagine, a 6.2% Oyster Stout. Now, I've had this beer several times before. I think I've posted about it, maybe, no, I don't think it's even on the Instagram. It was way back on when we was posting on Twitter. I don't think I've actually reviewed it, certainly not a video review. I love an Oyster Stout, don't see them around too much. I think this is just about in date, so it should be okay. Pours out, not massively thick, but good head development. Bit of carbonation going on there. Nice, thick, kind of oily blackness once it gets into the glass. Quite a bubbly head, but slightly tan coloured beer. Slightly tan coloured head, but good head development. Looks great. Let's get the photograph. let's get the photograph into the memory strand of it. Black Pearl. This beer's been around for quite some time, as has the brewery. In fact, should have put the laptop down for this. It's not going to go well. Oh yeah, I just remembered. There was meant to be a T-shirt change. Certainly, if I'd done the video. Oh no, that's not good. Bear with me a second, as always. I like to get it. I like to get the photo kind of right. I like it to be in focus. I am very fussy. Right, I'm going to put the screen down. Bear with me. Don't go anywhere. He says, don't go anywhere. And he just decides to wander off and change the T-shirt. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that works. Plug the phone in again. I'm losing thing. Give me a second. Anybody remember this pub chain? This T-shirt is approaching 30 years old. I'm quite frankly surprised I can still fit into it. But then I did have a little plan back then of buying oversized T-shirts. I was barely a medium then, and I bought XL, so I could still fit into it. Yeah, the Firkin Brewery, chain of pubs, mostly across London and the southeast, and all the pubs' names began with an F. So my local pub, not 1,500 yards from here, was called the Fornax in Firkin. It was the photographer in Firkin, the phrenologist in Firkin. But when they kind of gave up, went under, I'm not quite sure what the deal with it was, but when they gave up, one of the head brewers moved back to Kent and formed Gadds. And in fact, I believe they still have a beer called Dog's Bollocks, I think. Another great story, Oyster Stouts do tell. Even though I haven't participated in brewing an Oyster Stout last year, I'm not quite sure. Oh no, I knew. Yeah, I always talk about it, don't I? The market porters, mostly in London, when kind of stout and porter was a major thing. They'd all stagger out of the porter, the market in the morning, having done an early morning's work, banging on the doors of the pub at 8 o'clock, and any oysters that were left over would usually form their breakfast, and then eventually they just put them in the beer somehow, and eventually then they just brewed it in the beer. Is that the story you were thinking about, Rob? If not, do let me know. Paul, evening, sir. I'm doing all right. I've got a couple of really random beers in and a couple of stories. But yeah, let's do the review on this. I say get back. That head has dissipated a little bit now. There's a kind of there's thick black oiliness on the malts, that kind of roastiness. There's a little. I think there's still an air of salinity, and once again, the old snozzer has blocked up exactly. So the oyster stout we didn't put whole oysters in, just put shells in for that salinity, the calcium on the water. But there are some beers, I think London Brewing do one whole oyster stout, 100 oyster stout. Yeah, I don't know whether it's psychosomatic with oyster stouts. Not that I have too many, but I can definitely smell a bit of like salinity, a bit of savouriness um, coming from the sea. Obviously, where they are in Ramsgate, just up the coast from Whitstable, which is really well known for oysters. I've had oysters in Whitstable. Oysters and Guinness is a thing there. Oysters and stout on it. Let's have a little slurp and see what we get from this. Cheers. Ooh, mm. Bit too bitter for my liking. Like my eggs in a black soup, but not the worst oyster stout I've had. Yeah, I don't see too many oyster stouts. I can probably count on the fingers of one hand. Yeah, there is a little bit of bitterness in there. I often get licorice. I don't really like licorice. Do you remember sweets of the childhood, the old licorice all sorts? I really didn't like that kind of bittery, oily black kind of. Weird Beard used to do a beer called salty licorice, and that was all right actually. The salt ramped up a little bit, so that was a little bit like an oyster stout. Uh, Conflicting stories. New Zealand claimed they were first, and the UK followed in the 1900s. Other stories say the abundance of oyster shells in London. Yeah, I imagine it to be a much earlier than that. Like I say, porters, London porters in the markets, both fish market, flower market, whatever. I imagine it to be. I always imagine it to be centered around Borough Market, with the Market Porter pub on the corner and probably several others. And they'd all bundle in for what would be an early morning pint, but they've been working all day, all night, so it'll be essentially an evening pint for them. Um, but yeah, like you say, there's conflicting stories. That's the story I've always imagined it to be. London market ported. Uh, Sorry to hear that, my man. Hope you get over that quickly and you're back to full drinking fitness soonest. Especially after a little trip to Belgium. A good one. Yeah, got to get back. No such thing as far too much beer. As long as you kept it all in, you're fine, isn't it? um, that bitterness that we talked about just now in the last mouthful was kind of faded a little bit. It feels like much more sort of calcium salinity coming along there. Still a little bit of licorice for me, but that kind of saltiness, kind of a little bit of sparkling on the lips, which I like because it's something a little bit different. It's got there's almost chocolate roastiness, but more like chocolate bitterness, like really posh chocolate in the background, but not actual chocolate. Almost, it's like not chocolate bourbons, but kind of chocolate. Chocolate. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm just setting up for something that I had planned early. All right, I've got to set up the things again. Is that better? No, it's not. All right. Settings. I had this all set up and then I had to take the camera off for photos. No? Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, try that. Yay. Right. So the reason I'm doing this is because we're going to do, like I say, no, I've just turned that off. You fucking. Well, as long as you guys can't hear it, then I'll have to put up with it. So I'm just getting a bit of reverb. I'll turn the volume down. Right, let's try that. So I'm on there. Will that work? Let's have a look. Right, yeah. So the video I was going to do was basically on the name of this beer. 100% the shells will change. Yeah, exactly, with a bit of calcium. I'm interested in brewing one to see, but I'll have to get my oysters from Brewery Market. I got the oysters for the beer we brewed from the fish shop around the corner from here. When it's here, I know the guy anyway, kind of thing. Been shopping there for years, or my parents have. And yeah, it's worth a go. I mean, it's something different. Someone sat under the desk. Yeah, kind of might as well be. Right, let's see if this works. Yeah, live stream, man. I did say in the write-up this might be far too bleeding ambitious, but the reason I was going to do this video as a video because I wanted time to actually get it set up and stuff like that is because I noticed I had this beer and I wanted to do a video of it anyway. But I also noticed, well, you might see because of the tagline scrolling across the screen there now, beer free Gadds Brewery, Black Pearl, 6.2% Oyster Stout. The video that I had imagined for this beer was going to be called the £25 or £2 million beer review because of this. Happened to notice in the newsagent a scratch card called Black Pearl. So I got one. I thought, wouldn't it be fun? I've no idea if I'm allowed to do this, but I'm sure YouTube won't mind. But yeah, a £5 scratch card. Wouldn't it be funny if live on the video or now live on YouTube, I scratched off £2 million? You know I'm buying the beers if that happens, right? You know I'm buying the beers. I mean, the chances of that happening is like infinitesimally to one. I actually collected 5 of these scratch cards for that video, and before they ran out, I scratched them off, and I think I won a tenner. But just make my TV screen with a coin. Don't scratch it off from here. I'm going to try it. Mate, if I won £2 million, I'd be shipping well, maybe not a container. Yeah, I'd be shipping you some beers, whatever the cost. I'm sure it's possible. Right, let's have a look and see. Right, this is a Black Pearl Deluxe, no less. Deluxe. So this is all live. I've no idea how this is going to go. I've just picked one randomly. I did wander around today, which is how I got that. I went to Waitrose. And yeah, found 5 random scratch cards, hence the £25, because this is how much this stream has cost me. Not only the beer, it's cost me £25. I mean, but it's worth it for the entertainment, isn't it? That's YouTube. I don't know if you can actually see that too close. I don't know how this is going to work, which is why I was going to do it as a video. But anyway, yeah, whilst we talk about Oyster Stouts, let's see how much money I could win. Yeah, that's not I bet the house will be full of beer. How many beers would that increase the stash by? Yes, that's the trouble. I've already got 3 beer orders lined up because I did a beer video yesterday. Not sure that will actually get out and see the light of day because, like I say, running out of time and talent to edit them and stuff. But I do have 2 others lined up. One I talked about on yesterday's show for another disco beer. Right, so we're looking for a crown, a rainbow, a star, a necklace, and some random item that doesn't make any sense because my eyesight's terrible. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work too well as a spectator sport, although there are videos. Again, I have randomly stumbled across on YouTube. It's not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of them, but I have randomly stumbled across entire YouTube channels that just scratch off scratch cards for entertainment. Obviously, they have a better camera setup than me. Must be a Waitrose exclusive, that one. No, not at all. I go to Waitrose because it's quiet, so that when I rack up, when I do the lottery normally, I always buy a couple of scratch cards with a ticket. I go to Waitrose to cash them in, like 5 and 10 quid at a time, because they've got a load of money and save me having to stand up clogging up a shop. But I did get, I don't know if I actually got this one from Waitrose because I did get a couple from the local shops as well. You can't see that, can you? That's not. Well, there's £100,000 there. I don't think it's on mine though. Yeah, too much light on that, isn't there? That's not really going to work. So I still think though, because my eyesight's terrible, I'll hold it up to the screen and you're going to find out as quick as I do whether I won any money or not. I don't know if there's ASMR scratchy notes coming through on the microphone. I'm going to. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Oh, there's cameras up that end. Is it me? Or is that 3 identical symbols? Hey, I've won a £5. Yay! I've won a £5 from a £5 scratch card. Let's see if there's any others though, because sometimes they'll hide a few other £5s in there. But yeah, I think I've won a £5. So I've broken even basically. Actually, I haven't broken even because I spent 25 bloody pounds. The reason I spent £25 is because I actually cashed in some lottery tickets today and got £25 back. So I have technically broken even, depending on which way you look at it. I mean, actually, I haven't broken even in the slightest because I've spent hundreds of pounds getting those £25. But yes, that one has got £5 on it. I don't even know what symbol that is. I think it's a bed. No idea, but it's 3 of the same. I don't know if there's a 5 on that one. I can't see any of it. No, I'm going with a £5. It's quality entertainment. This is 25 quid worth of entertainment right there, isn't it? Well, that one will go in the stash. Yeah. You can buy us all a Banks bitter. Well, no, I can't because you can't get hold of that anymore. They stopped making it, haven't they? What's his name? Big Beer blew that one out the water. Closed Wolverhampton, and they don't brew Bankses anymore. What else is a £1? Bass. I'll buy you all a Bass. Oh look, there's another one. That looks better actually. Let's see what we get from this one. Come on, I'm up for this now. It's kind of funny. It's quality entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. You don't get this on. You don't get this on cooking shows on TV, do you? You don't get this on BBC One. Success. Yeah, but it would cost me 20 quid to get you the quid. 2.5 beers in Wetherspoons. My Wetherspoons are 179. Oh, 199. Yeah. But yeah, I really wish Wetherspoons would charge more, and then we could get better beers. What's going on there? Oh right, yeah. So now I'm not going to read them all out. I'm just going to scrub it off, and then I'll try and show you what we've got. Got 5 of these. Got another 3 anyway. I have seen, one of the funniest things I've seen is in a supermarket, Sainsbury's in Alperton actually, where there's people gone in. I've seen the discarded tickets, and all they've done is that they know where the code is, and they just scrape that off and give it back to the thing and say, check this. Don't even bother scraping it all off, which I think kind of negates part of the fun of it, really, doesn't it? Or maybe that's just as much fun. You don't even have to know, you just scrape off wherever the code is and don't worry about the rest of it. Let's look more closely at that. Can't see. Yeah, we've moved up a bit. Right, we're on to these ones. My eyesight's terrible with this light, so I can't actually see even at this distance what I've got. I could just recognise vague shapes. Can you hear the scrapey? Let me know if you can hear the scrapey going. Oh, I thought I'd got the same ones again there. There's only 2 of them, bastards. Right. So we've got nugget, rings, rainbow, something else, and fire, I think. So all the ones we had on the last one, I've now got on this one. Crown. What a surprise. Ring, we had that on the last one. There's 2 crowns on there. This one's quite good. There is a little circle thing that gets you a tenner. Or whatever this price says, actually. There is an instant win on this. No, that's dull. That's one fuck all. And fiver, that was only 2.25, so a fiver wins 2 of those. I don't need 2 of them because I've already got 2. You can hear the scrapey. I'm calling it scrapey. Let's do some more scrapey because I've got no other ideas left. This would have worked better on a video where I could have just fast forwarded all this shit. But like I say, run out of time and talent. I've got loads of other video ideas. It's just a case of whether I actually get around to, like, let's say. Yeah, so yesterday's video was in order to get my first or beer order of the year, I used GeoGuessr, and I've done GeoGuessr before. Check that one out here. To find some UK breweries, and it ended up being Bristol and London, so I've got a choice of breweries in Bristol and London. Oh, hello. Hold on. Hello. You see that? You see that little round bit? Is that not the same as what it describes? Where is it? There. Find a round bit, whatever that is. It won't focus, will it? To show the price shown. So I've won 20 quid on that one. Get in. I wonder if I've got any more. This could be £100 scratch card here. Oh, the drama, the pathos. Yeah, that's the winning symbol there. That's 20 quid. So 20 quid and a fiver. I've broken even, lads. I've broken even. Yay. Genuinely didn't expect that to be. I didn't expect to win the bloody 2 million either, but we shall see. Sometimes, like, there's some additional bonuses underneath the rest of it. They all do 1 or 2 wins. I can't see. No, not on there. Yep, no, that's a £20 scratch card right there. I can't see that either. So I've got 25 quid so far. Well, there you go. Do you remember the football card? Yeah, you have to pick a team. That still goes about. I'm sure they do it online now. I've seen it on Facebook with Argyle. Scratching sounds like the local crabs clinic. So I heard. You always pick your own team and you always get disappointed, don't you? Don't gamble, or at least gamble responsibly. Do not pick your own team, especially when it comes to football. They will always let you down. Even if you bet against them, they will go and fucking win randomly and somehow surprisingly, and they will always let you down. But, you know, if you're bunged a fiver on and they let you down by winning the game, it's worth the money, innit? I'm excited now. I want to see if I make money. I want to see if I'm into profit. I've broken even so far. Got a £5 and a 25 and a £20 scratch card, or 5 scratch cards. I don't know why 5. I don't know why pick 5 particularly. Should have just done a couple. I'm looking for that little round one. I think that's the best chance of winning the most money, to be fair. I wonder if I'm going to rub the edge of this coin off at any point. What I should be doing is like commenting and reading out the things, but I can't see them that well, so it's just going to be the excitement of if something comes up. So we're down to the 3s. You've got to get 3 of the same on this one. Oh, there was a double there. No, key. And I forget. There we go. I might try this again, maybe on a video of something else. Just a random beer and scratch card review. Could be a thing, could be a new thing, beer and scratch cards. It's a way of paying for your beer, isn't it? Oh, hello. Oi, oi. Hello. If I'm right, that's a crown. And that's a crown. And that says £10. I'm in profit. Get in. I didn't pick all these from the same place. These are from 4 separate places, to be honest. Got to be honest, but that's a £10 crown. Is there anything else on there? Am I being greedy? No, that's a £10 crown. Check me. Yeah, that's a crown and a £10. Get in. £35. I'm up a tenner. Right, I got one more. I'm going to do it because I'm getting really excited about it. I don't know if this is good viewing or not. Let me know if you're bored. But I'll just carry on. Is the round shape a clam and a pearl? Oh, yeah, probably. I don't know. Yeah, probably. Oh, yeah, pearl in a clam because it's the black pearl. I didn't thought of that. I just thought it was some round, indescribable object. Hopper. Al, thanks very much for popping in and saying hello. Cheers. Keep up the good work on the beer reviews. See you around for the next one. Right, one more, and then we've gone over the hour anyway, so let's just get this one out. Do you know what I mean? I'm good now. I've made my money back. I've broken even. I've got to go for another trip to Waitrose to cash these, mine. That's a Friday problem, though. I do spend a little bit too much money. Oh, shit. That's a point. I went up to Waitrose to get these, and I always get a couple of lucky dips for the Euro Millions. Play Euro Millions because you get 2 chances of winning and more money. And do you know what? I normally just bung a few lines online as well. And I actually forgot to do that today. So I'm not going to check the numbers till tomorrow. I've got some other scratch cards, but yeah, I forgot to actually forgot to put the lottery on today because I was too busy planning this. You idiot, Disco. You fucking idiot. But I'm not a rich idiot. But I'm in profit idiot. I'm an in profit idiot, but not a rich idiot. I mean, the chances of me actually winning on those like lines I actually get. Trouble is, I've got to look at the numbers now tomorrow and see if the ones I would have put on, because I have 2 regular lines. What does anybody else do? I have 2 regular lines, 2 regular numbers, and then a couple of random ones. And then I got a shot to get the scratch cards, so I pick Some lucky dips as well. Probably a little bit too much money. I'm not minted. I'm properly skint, but you've got to have your fun somewhere, haven't you? And either beer or scratch cards. Oh, what's that? Oh, no, it's a helicopter. Damn. You see this right there? I'll move it up there. And yes, this is a kitchen chopping board. It's a flatty surface I could find rather than do it on the table because the table's a bit wobbly. Oh, oh, oh. Oh no, 2 bands and a. No, you can't see that because of the light. As soon as I get the lighting sorted out of this place, this will be a wicked video. Oh, oh, no, it's a mirror. Oh, 2 doubles. 2 doubles. What's that going to be? No, goblet. I don't know what that is. It's a rainbow, some bands, ring. Yeah, so £25 in scratch cards gets me £35. I'm going to class that as a win. I'm going to class that as a win. Show me the money. Big money. Who was that? Let me know if you know. Well, there you go. That was my little Tuesday tipple. Let's say Gadds Brewery, well-established brewery down in Kent. Love this stuff. This is a Black Pearl, 6.2% Oyster Stout. 6.2% doesn't necessarily come through. It feels like all about the same tonight. But a reasonably solid stout. Again, a little thin, good flavours. That oyster kind of note does kind of come through. It is there. There's a little bit of salinity, a bit of sparkle. They do still do this. I don't think this was just for Beer 52. I'm a little surprised to see them in Beer 52, to be honest. Let's, for completeness, see what we get on a can. Let's first of all check, as we normally do, the date. How long have I had this sitting in my stash? Oh dear. Best before end, 23rd of the 6th, 24. So almost a year out of date, but it's still quite a tasty little beer, to be honest. Kentish hops, doesn't say what. 6.2%. Brewed by the Ramsgate Brewery. Broadstairs in Kent. So not in Ramsgate, so not the Ramsgate Brewery. The Broadstairs Brewery. Anyway, I'll let him off for that because it's a good brewery and we like them, so fine. Opulent Kentish ale. Roasted barley, malted oats, and Kentish hops combined to create a luscious Bible Black Stout. No oysters were harmed in this production. Well, they were dead. Bizarre. It's a mystery to me, but it's been fun. I laugh anyway. Yeah, finally. I actually thought this one was just about in date, but yeah, finally an out-of-date beer. It's been 6 for 1, I think, isn't it? There's still plenty of life in it though. Like you can invigorate it pretty quickly. Nice little head development, lovely colour, definitely jet black. I wouldn't have called it Bible black. That doesn't make any sense. Kind of weird thing to put on a can. But yeah, I like a bit of Gadds. This actually has been before. This has been a train beer before. Coming back out of Gillingham, picked this up in a local shop. Probably that was in a 330 actually. So I have had this beer several times before. It's still as good as I vaguely remember it, but it was a long time ago. Well, it was at least 6 years ago. The last time I was in Kent, but yeah, a nice stout, a little thin, but good flavours. Like I say, that licorice one, that licorice note that doesn't sit well with me, but I can get by it because it's got that roastiness, slight bitterness. Fairly easy drinking stout. Good notes, good fun. That's been my Tuesday tip. Well, I'm going to finish this one off. I normally sort of sit back and think about it afterwards, but I'm going to knock this back and bid you all farewell. Brewing tomorrow up the brewery, so I won't get a chance to cash them in. until probably Friday. But the streamers almost made money. If you account for the fact that I spent 25 quid on scratch cards, I got 35 quid back, plus bought 3 beers, about 3 quid a pop. I've kind of broken even. So it's not a £2 million stream. It is just a bit as fun as always. Please drink responsibly. Please gamble responsibly. If you're watching after the event, please do me a favour. Click the like and subscribe buttons down there. Click all the things that I put on there because the algorithm loves it. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's popped into the chats tonight. Sharp, Paul, thanks for popping in. David Wilson, as always, thank you for reminding me about the photographs. Mr. B, thanks for the knowledge and information. Hopper, thanks for popping in. If you come back and see the end of this one, check out Hopper Beer Reviews. I will put a link in a thing because he's doing some good stuff with AI. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask him. Is it definitely AI version of David Attenborough on Hopper's reviews? Let me know. Pop some comments down the bottom. I don't know. Call me an idiot. I don't care. Whatever you do. Damon, I buy you a beer. Come to the brewery on the 22nd of this month. I will buy you a pint. When Trilby Phil, apparently it's coming along. I haven't heard from him this week, but I think he remembers it. So, yeah, thanks to everybody for popping along. It's been a fun Tuesday night. Little bit of madness. Cheers, guys. Cheery bye. See you later. Good luck on Sunday. Yeah, thanks very much. Pop along. I think we're doing a live stream on Sunday. Hopefully. Yeah, come along and see that. Until then, yeah, that was Gadds Black Pearl 6.2% Oyster Stout. I've been Disco Rasko and Disco Beer Review from live from in front of the cans and bottles. I'm still unbelievably cool in the disco arms. And until the next time, maybe Thursday. I've got some New Zealand stuff to do on Thursday, perhaps, if I get back from work on time. Yeah. Catch you all later. Here's the end screen.